I'm trying to remember this album I listened to the other day. I think it started. Yeah. No, I think this is it. I swear to God, there was words to this. There was words to the track. No, there was words to this song.
R6 was being flow and musical express. FX, so what you know, we work through writing thus. Apex, but we know that the city and the field mouse is really just two
Trujillo, Brucker House.
A-side, B-side,
A-side, B-side.
Trujillo and Brucker House.
No, that was it.
E-side, B-side music album reviews.
All right, that introduction, that little introduction track provided courtesy from us two. I hope you all enjoyed it for the very first time. My name is Brandon, BruckerHouse.com. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, my name is Alex Trujillo.
Fantastic. We are A-side, B-side. We are two guys. We're two guys. And that's all you really need. That's all you really need to know. We're two people. We are two separate people. One of us is not AI generated. Just
Never.
like how the other one is not AI generated. We are people wrought from flesh, from bone. We exist in this physical world.
I am not an android.
Yep. And he's not paranoid either. With this okay. This is the pilot episode for what we hope to be a semi-frequent podcast as far as our frequency of uploads. That is up in the air. But we are two guys that spent a long time listening to various albums and tracks and talking with one another for about how long have we known each other? I've known like ever since fucking middle school, right?
I mean, technically we didn't start talking till 8th grade, and even then we weren't talking.
Yeah, we spent a long time as enemies, and then that funny thing happens when everybody graduates from high school, and you realize, oh fuck, I don't got no friends, so you start calling up people. Anyway, anywho.
We're the bestest of buddies.
Yeah, we've always been close. Sure. We are two. I think it'd be fair to say actually, we are two local Colorado artists. We are home based in Colorado. I can censor that if you want to remain extra anonymous, but I think that'd be kind of an interesting.
I mean,
little
Colorado's a pretty big state.
Yeah. It's a great. It's a fucking square. I mean, it's a shitty square shape that half of it's mountains, half of it is flat. Kansas is dirt, right?
Somewhere in there's a fucking desert.
Yeah, there's sand dunes. There's a desert. There's snow. We got all sorts of things coming up in Colorado.
Got a little bit of everything.
So for our first pilot episode, we wanted to get together, and for our album, so the name of the game in this podcast is that every single episode we will provide you, the listener, with a thorough track-by-track review and retrospective of several significant albums that have released throughout human lifetimes. Essentially, what separates us, however, as we travel along episode to episode, is that we go deeper. We go so deep into each track. I, for example, have like a lot of lists. I know Alex has been very, very fucking prolific with his notes. You said that you were working on them right before we started and have been for like a few weeks now. I'm very excited to dig into them.
One of my favorite things is I both am an enjoyer of music and I love history. I love connecting lines and dots as to how, certain things led to other events happening in history. and you can see a lot of that in music with influences and pop culture shifts and things like that, and I find it very, very fun.
Oh yeah, me as well. I kind of lean more into the like sometimes down the track list that we have. I like novelty albums. I like albums that have like a history to them. There's like one album that comes off the top of my head right now is Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino by fuck, who are they called? The Arctic Monkeys. It's when you listen to it for the first time, not knowing the exact context of the album, it kind of just sounds like a lounge singer. Like it's a very slow and methodical track listing. And I wasn't personally like the biggest fan of it, but then when I learned more about the where the band was at the time of recording that album, and also just like all the little things, all the little lyrics that really paint this picture. There's actually a very broad story in Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. That what really got me hooked, not only into that, but also really fed into like my interest in learning more about an album than just the music itself, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, one of the important things to realize is that with these records and albums is that like this is a package that the artist put together in the specific order, and there's a reason behind it, and there's purpose into why they're doing this.
I'm
So I
actually
think it's
yeah.
really cool to sit down and listen to a whole record and just experience it.
I'm actually really happy that you brought that up. Yeah, there's a lot of intention in the indie track listing of albums that I think do. And not to sound like an old dude, this is definitely going to date this pilot when we listen to it years from now. But I think that there's definitely a slow shift that started right when streaming, especially like when TikTok cough cough came out.
In order to keep people's attention and whatnot, you have to be constantly in their face. So like albums aren't really worth it anymore, just for the sheer fact of like it's a one and done. You release 12 songs and now you're done.
Yeah.
Whereas you can keep people's attention and focus by releasing singles consistently and constantly.
No, yeah, absolutely. Um, so I think that's a pretty good segue into the album that we chose for tonight's pilot. I think that it's a very um it
Can
yeah, I'm sorry.
can we get the Macintosh robot to say the name of the record?
I don't know if it's gonna catch, but you ready?
Yeah.
OK Computer by Radiohead.
Huh?
I didn't hear it at all.
You didn't hear it at all?
No, we'll edit it in post.
I mean, I heard it just fine. You got to go into your settings, turn up your sound. Anywho.
Bitch.
So for tonight, for tonight's, for our pilots, for whatever you want to call it, for this episode, I immediately, when we first originally came up with A side, B side, the project, I immediately gravitated towards this album. It's called OK Computer by Radiohead. And the reason why I went like directly to it, one, I definitely listened to it at a very crucial part in my life. So it still has like for me personally, it has like a lot of relevance. And two, it's one of those albums, and we're probably not gonna ever get like a shortage of this, but it's one of those albums that I feel like made a significant impact in the trajectory of rock music at the time. OK Computer is Radiohead's, in my opinion, the first real departure from like the more typical classic rock sound that Radiohead had going for the longest time. And why I think it'd be such a good pilot, a good strong pilot to start off on, is that the album itself talks a lot about humanism, what it means to separate yourself from AI, what it means to exist in a society, as
Good
loaded
God,
as a term
dude.
as that
this
is.
record goes fucking deep.
Oh no, yeah, this Tom York. Oh man, he has so much sadness in his life, and it
Bro.
really, yeah,
The
yeah.
one happy song in this record is like not good. Like in the sense of like it's not good that it's a happy song. It's about a guy who's just lying to get people's votes to become a politician, and that's the one song in this record that I'm like, damn, this song slaps. This goes hard. This is a total pace changer.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Are you talking about electioneering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For like the rock fan of me is just like, damn, this song's good. But then like I looked in the lyrics and I was just like,
No.
oh, this song no good.
This song is awful. Yeah. No, it's yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. To when we get to electioneering. So yeah, I think I covered all the tracks. Or not all the tracks, sorry, we didn't even get to one. I covered all the introduction notes. Unless there's anything that you think should be said, let's get on to the review.
Okay.
The first track on OK Computer is called Airbag. And Alex has probably done like a lot more research than me at this point. But this song is interesting because it is based off of essentially Tom York had a very sudden and tragic car accident happen to him that left him in a very critical state. And if it wasn't for the airbag that he had, he definitely would have died. So as the album comes in and begins to play, it has a very nice, I guess you would call it like an intro, a guitar strum or a guitar notes that really leads you in to the fuller production that is seen throughout OK Computer. And the lyrics itself, let me find like a couple here and there, has him literally saying, I am born again in a fast German car. I'm amazed that I survived. An airbag saved my life.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about like the rush of like, if you're about to die, it's like you're being born again. You're, you get it's almost like a reset button. You're like, it wakes you up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I always thought it was also interesting how the ending of the track has the lyrics, I am back, or in a interstellar burst, I am back to save the universe. Radiohead, like in general, always has very, very esoteric, very out there lyrics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And pulling it from like when I listen to this song, I imagine like the first half when he's talking about the vehicle that he's in. A lot of the lyrics are very material, very very fuck, what would you call it? Very literal, I'd argue. Like Tom York really paints a scene, but by having like this chorus, it also still has I guess that Radiohead weirdness. That's what we should call it. Radiohead weirdness.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy like the guitar work in this song is really, really good. I enjoy the use of effects and delays and reverbs and whatnot on there. It creates a very interesting atmosphere to the type of record that we're about to hear. Oh
yeah, and also a side note, I'm pretty sure that again, like going back to how much of a departure this album is specifically. I think the one that they released before this was the Bends.
Yeah, I think it was the Bends. I'm really annoyed. I really wanted to sit down and listen to that just to hear the contrast, but I hadn't had a chance to.
You're good. I think the Bends is an okay record. So some of the tracks on the Bends are oof. Anywho. Yeah, so with Airbag, Radiohead definitely says, "Hey, this is gonna be a almost like an intro." In a way, when I was glancing at the lyrics, it seemed like the Airbag had like the most one would say like humanizing lyrics. You know, a lot of this track or a lot of this album goes into very existential, like empty empty landscapes. But with this one, the intro track at least, there's like a warmness to it. You know, there's a humanity to it that kind of like invites you into the world of OK Computer. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, in a way, it kind of it's a good introduction. Two, it also offers like a contrast with the rest of the album that you're about to listen to.
Yeah, I would kind of explain it as like this is like if this was like the beginning of a hero's adventure, this is like the car crash is his moment of like waking up and seeing the world that he's in. You know, he's starting anew, so now he's able to look at the world from a different perspective, and now he's like seeing the depravities and the despair that's in the world. And I think that this record's really good at introducing that as like a I've started again, basically.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's about all the notes that we have for Airbag Radiohead. I was gonna add, we 100% should have we 100% should have figured this out before we started recording, Alex.
Yeah.
Every track, do you want to do like a out of 10?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we'll do like an out of 10.
I think instead of that seems like a lot. I feel like we should be like. Like when we're
is it good or is it? Or I tell you what, is it
thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah. Because it's like, because the whole point of the reviews is to go from the album top to bottom, right? So we should have it to be like best song or thumbs up or bad song or actively skip this song. You know?
All right, I'd say thumbs up.
I'd say thumbs up. I don't personally think that Airbag is the best song of the album. That is, yeah, but it is good. It is 100% good though. You know?
It's a good tone setter.
Yeah, you wouldn't listen to fucking Airbag on the radio. they would never put that one on. But the second track.
Ooh, baby, you know I love Paranoid Android.
Yes, sir. All right, you wanna kind of lead this one?
Yeah, so this is a really fun song, Paranoid Android. From my understanding, Tom York was basically talking about he had like one night or he just wasn't in the fucking mood for anyone's shit, and he like the music was bad and he was just having a bad vibe. And that's kind of what this song is about. Is about that night where he was just like, I'm just not digging this. People are bugging me. The music's too loud. I feel anxious and I feel annoyed.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I think that's a cool perspective on a song. One of the things that I learned when I was learning about this tune is very much written in the style of Happiness is a Warm Gun, in the sense of like kind of having three songs meshed into one song. That apparently was a very intentional thing that they did, kind of referencing to that.
Really? I never made the connection.
Yeah, just something I read.
But no, yeah, I like that insight for sure. The title track Paranoid Android, I'm sure this is like one of the most common fucking Easter eggs when it comes to Radiohead. But it is actually named after Marvin, the paranoid android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And literally every single time you look up anything about this song, there's either going to be a comment or a footnote mentioning that. So this is,
I mean, that's where they got the title of the track too, OK Computer. One of the guys in there would say, "OK Computer, da 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 da."
Oh shit, really? That's what they got that from?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I don't know if you knew this or not.
I
read this.
I did it. I didn't know.
No,
this
there's more to this. I read this. So basically, when they were on tour before they went in to record this album, when they were on tour, there was like a radio series going on that was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and they would listen to it when they were on tour. So there's if there's any references to that, it's because of that. They were listening to it.
Huh. Fuck, I gotta read those books again. I'm such a fan. I love Douglas Adams, bro. But Yeah, I do like that. It's very interesting. I'm trying to think of like what additional information we can crack. I'd say that it's very fair to say that this is the best song on the album. At the very least, it is their most popular fucking track, easily.
I do like it. I honestly, I kind of like the next one a little more. Just for some reason, the chords and everything just rub me the right way. But this song is very fucking good.
Oh, absolutely. I guess one more last thing to add to this. If you haven't checked out the music video for this, apparently there's like this it's like this guy with like a purple beanie, and it's just him being paranoid all day. And apparently it's from a European webcomic of sorts. The name escapes me right now, but check out the music video. It's good, it's animated. It's how I got introduced to this track. Moving on. Up next, the third track of the album. Subterranean Homesick Alien. Now this, I think if I could just say like real quick, Subterranean Homesick Alien, when you're listening to this album, top to bottom, is the first time where the album really digs into those Radiohead roots. I'd like to say it's the first one that really like takes a step back and just makes you think of like in a very calming sort of audio atmosphere that it builds.
I would agree. I mean, dude, I just can't get over how well the use of effects and whatnot in all this. I mean, they create a really, really nice atmosphere. It definitely makes you feel anxious in certain areas sometimes in this record. And this song in particular, some of the chord choices in that, especially the very first main chord, just I don't know what it is, dude. I hear that and I just like, it gives me the willies in like a good way.
Oh no, yeah, 100%. I just love the you're so just to give our listeners like a little bit more of an insight. Alex over here has played in several bands and have performed live at several events. Even has an accomplished tour underneath his belt. That's true. It is true. Give yourself that.
Brandon gives me all the credit. I'm very hard on myself. I am a guitar player. I just like to have fun and make music with friends. I have done some pretty cool things. So whenever you ever hear us talking about music and Brandon says stuff like, when the guitar does those bendy things, just know my soul dies just a little bit.
We had you want a side tangent real quick?
Sure.
So there's a funny thing with our current setup right now. This episode, at the very least, we are recording in two different rooms, and I have a mic. It is a Tascam LD74 that I actually bought from my good friend Alex here a long time ago. It works fucking great, and however, it has a cord, right? It has a cord that plugs into something that is labeled, and I'm going to read this out loud. It's labeled Audio Box USB 96. So therefore, I call it an audio box.
I'm going to tell you this right now. You're not wrong. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was just like, yeah, my friend calls it a fucking audio box. It's an audio interface. And they're like, you can call it an audio box. And I was just like, wait, that's not just him being dumb?
God damn it. Oh, so you got checked privately then. I see.
I thought it'd be fun to bring that up first time right now.
Fuck you, Alex. For the longest time, I took your word as gospel, being the musician, that okay, I guess in the industry it's called an interface, and I just do it to piss. I call it a box just to fucking irk you. But it looks like I wasn't so wrong, huh, Trujillo?
No. I'm just picky.
Anywho, yeah. So on the track, Subterranean Homesick Alien. I was gonna mention. You have like a lot more insight on this being a musician. That there's a complex layering of some sort of like a filter that goes on with like the guitar, in addition to like a really nice reverb. And I agree with Alex, that it really adds like this tension to the verses. Like as it begins, like you first think like, oh, this is gonna be nice and slow, but then it slowly builds up until it explodes within the chorus. There's several times where the chorus completely breaks through the tension, and the guitarist starts playing. This our podcast is gonna get really annoying very quickly if I just start like mimicking guitar noises. You know what I mean? It's gonna get so annoying. But
Please make this. What's the sound you're trying to make, Brandon?
I'll make the
Please.
sound. I'll make the sound. All right. I hear you. This is the sound. When it starts going, and it's like they're uptight. You know, that's such a good section of the song. It's the chorus, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just uptight. Yeah, I'm not fucking Tom York, but I like his music. So anyway, I think that's a pretty good review. Would you say this is your best track on the album?
Ooh. I would say it's not. It's definitely top 3. I couldn't tell you in which slot, not the top slot, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's somewhere for sure.
I will say though, I'm kind of excited to talk about the next one, just simply because I don't know if you know a certain about it.
Oh yeah, we could just hop right into it. The 4th track on the album is Exit Music for a Film. Are you possibly?
Ooh, you do know
Are you possibly referring to a
R&J?
A type of mirror that's black? A black mirror? Or what do you... R&J? Wait, what?
Romeo and Juliet?
Was this in Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah. Wait a second. What were you talking about?
Okay, so... Alright. I was making a reference to... I was making a reference to the Black Mirror episode where, spoiler alert, you follow this kid who works at like a fast food spot or whatever, and he's handing things to kids. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? And then
don't spoil that. Don't spoil that.
Okay, yeah. And then long story short, no spoilers. I take the spoiler back. Long story short, he gets essentially blackmailed, and he's forced to do really fucked up things. But this song plays at the end of that episode, and when it does, I don't think it's I'm such a huge fan of what's called the needle drop, right? Like when a song hits its apex right as a character does something horrific or tragic, or you know what I mean. We play a D&D campaign, us and a couple friends, where I DM, and every once in a while when like a character has like something really fucked up happen to them, I play like a needle drop. And when I was watching this fucking episode, and this song came on, and it hit that there's when you listen to the song, there is a definite hit near the end of it. It lulls you in with like this really fucked up lullaby. You also, I don't know if you heard this, Alex, when you listen to it, there's also like, they sample planes, like literal fucking planes flying in and out of an airport, right?
Yeah.
But when it hits, it's fucking devastating, and that energy is still within the song itself. So that's where I got my. Where did you hear this song from?
So this movie, I couldn't tell you which Romeo and Juliet. I'm fairly confident it's the Leonardo DiCaprio one, where it's like modern time but still Shakespearean like words.
Yeah.
They wrote it for that movie initially. Um, they brought him in and sat them down and they showed him like the death scene of Romeo and Juliet, and then he was just like, "All right, I have a song idea," and he wrote exit music. That's why in this, when he's talking about, you and me need to go before our father finds out, before your dad finds out and ruins us, and then at the end there, that's when they kill each. That's when they kill themselves. Is when he's talking about we'll be together in peace, like in eternal peace or whatever.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's he pulled that directly from that movie. They showed him that movie like an early screening and were like, write us a song for it.
Holy shit, that's fucking cool. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, learning that actually does because I have the lyrics up right now, right? It actually does seem to like change like the context for me. I used to interpret this song as like a very bitter and angry note from someone that's like running away from like some sort of like a dictatorship, some sort of like rule,
Right.
because there's parts where it's just like you can laugh, you can have your rules and your wisdom. We hope you choke. That's such like a good fucking like wishing someone just straight up chokes is like a very, for me at least, like a very deep, a very primal hate to give somebody. But
Right. And I mean, to be fair, for the context of this record, that does make sense.
yeah, absolutely. This is a very angry and like just sad, like hopeless song. What did it? Why didn't it end up in the fucking movie?
No, it was in the movie. It was. I don't know where in the movie it landed, but it's in the movie. I've never seen the movie. Well, I've seen like bits of the movie, but like I've never like seen it.
I know. There's the. Oh my god, are you talking about? I, I know there's a Romeo and Juliet where it's again like it's in modern times, but like the first scene is like them in a fucking gas station.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that one.
It's
Like
that one.
Leonardo DiCaprio, like lives in like the Hicks in like a motorhome or something like that, or a mobile home.
What the fuck? That. All right, another side tangent. That movie to me always screamed 2000s, like 2000s energies. I haven't seen it. I just avoided it because I was in a drama class, fucking in high school, and they played like the first scene from it, and it really is just like dudes in like the colorful fucking leather, just going "I bite my thumb at you" while fucking pumping gas into their cars.
I know it's really fucking goofy.
Really goofy. I kind of, you're in high school and you feel like you're better than everything, right? I definitely was a part of that, so I was like, oh, this is stupid. But nowadays, I kind of want to watch it.
I know. I kind of want to see it too. Just I'm curious what the hubbub was all about.
Yeah. Why are we reviewing albums? Let's just turn this into a movie podcast.
Yeah, fuck records.
Uh,
Sorry guys, we're gonna start over the podcast right now.
I'm gonna go pick you up. We're gonna go watch it. All right. Do you wanna introduce the fifth track?
Sure. So the next song on that record is going to be "Let Down." Um, from my understanding, it's kind of like, I could be wrong on this. I think it's supposed to be like coming down from a high and just kind of being left empty or something like that. That's like the letdown. I think is kind of the idea of it. There is some quote, and I'm not saying it as a quote, but like him talking about being at a club one night and just thinking to himself, it'd be weird to just have everyone's drinks just hung by a string and the floor gave out and everyone just has to hold on to their drinks because that's just what's keeping them alive.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I think I see the part that you're talking about. Let down
Yeah.
and hanging around, crushed like a bug in the ground. That's
Yeah.
so good. You know what's so funny? This is gonna like this project is gonna be a lot of fun for me because I remember I caught up on the lyrics like a few days ago. I used to think "Let Down" was like optimistic. I thought it was like a good song.
No,
Uh,
it's very much supposed to be like I'm so used to like getting my hopes up and then just having them crushed.
that's insane. I always interpreted I guess obviously, you don't always pay attention to the lyrics, right? I always
Right.
assumed that when he goes let down and hanging round, I always thought that was like I always interpreted it as a message of someone's life is genuinely fucking terrible, but by learning to accept it, by learning to accept being letting down and hanging around, that you can move on. But now that I'm reading these lyrics again, Jesus Christ, Tom York.
I think there is some point to optimism where he is kind of talking about metamorphosis into a butterfly, but I think there is still some anxiety about whether or not he's just going to be let down again.
Oh yeah, I'm checking out. There's a part in the pre-chorus that goes, "And one day, I am gonna grow wings, a chemical reaction." That line, "a chemical reaction," really speaks to me. I think it really adds to like the. I think I don't know why we haven't said this word yet, Alex, but I think that OK Computer, it doesn't tell like a direct story, but it describes like a landscape of dystopia, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like a metallic fucking 4G, 5G, whatever the fuck you want to call it, dystopia.
Right.
I'm gonna grow wings, a chemical reaction. That to me speaks of like not only the mechanical side of things, a chemical reaction that powers like, nuclear energy or whatever the fuck, but also just like it's both, it both exists in nature, right? Like the metamorphosis, the chemical reactions that like lead to a butterfly evolving or whatever the fuck. But it also has like it's an interesting word, or just to me. I don't know why I'm hyper. I'll be honest. I don't know why I'm hyper focusing on this one. But to me, it speaks to like in a way, yeah, it does connect like the machine side with like the human nature side, both of those aspects, because the chemical reaction is available in both. But it also like really reinforces and really digs back to just like the unnatural uncanniness that this album fucking brings. It's amazing to me to think that Radiohead has been such like a mainstream, a very like a house staple for like the longest times, but their message has always been very fucking genuine. Like their intentions have always been very fucking genuine and very
I
fucking
do.
depressing.
Yeah, I do appreciate a band to some degree that like has a motive behind what they're doing, and I really do think that when a band goes into it with a full focus, I think you can get really introspective and get some really interesting takes on the world with lyricism and whatnot, and explain things in such an interesting way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a delicious dichotomy to this. Um, that obviously the other songs like explored it as well, but this one really like lives in it. Again, I
Yeah.
I always assumed this song was optimistic.
All right, what's next on that list there?
Uh, Next up is yes, Karma Police. Arrest this man. He talks in maths. He buzzes like a fridge.
I like the woman with an Adolf like haircut. It's just like holy shit, what a visual.
It's like literally verse 2.
Come, chameleon.
Karma Police is the 6th track on OK Computer. This one also has like a very this one's more overt. I feel like when I listened to this song growing up, it definitely felt like yeah, this one makes me sad. It's very haunting, you know.
I read that this song is just about saying, "Hey, fuck your boss."
Fucking really.
Yeah.
I always interpreted it as just straight up giving up and losing yourself to like literal karma. Like you fuck up so much in life that you're just done. You know?
Really, I kind of took it as like he's the karma police. Like he's hoping that bad things happen to people that he doesn't like, and that like that's him passing his judgment because that's not how karma works. There's like a weird subversion to it.
Yeah, it's like a he's trying to wish there's a transactional.
Yeah, he's hoping bad things happen to people that he dislikes because they did something that he doesn't like, but that doesn't mean that they did something bad. But yeah, I read that this song is just about not liking your boss essentially and hoping ill will upon them.
You know what's funny?
What?
Um, I think it's funny how the verses go. Verse 1, Karma Police, arrest this man. Verse 2, Karma Police, arrest this girl. Verse 3, Karma Police, I've given all I can. It's like I'm out of people to arrest.
It was just those two people, him and her.
Yeah, why didn't Tom York say that's all I had to do, I'm fine now.
All right, guys, end record.
Yeah, I like this song. I don't
Honestly,
yeah.
it's not. It's one of my least favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's very fair. I think I think it's interesting cuz like going back to like all the tracks that we reviewed so far, Airbag offers like a very almost like nice introduction to the album. Paranoid Android, I think it's fair to say, is like almost like a mission statement. It's a very long track with like 3 different sections.
Yeah.
Subterranean Homesick Alien, it's like the slow track. It's very nostalgic. I don't know if I said that word to describe track 3, but it's a very nostalgic song. Exit music, sorry. Is once again like it's a very dramatic track. Then you have Let Down, where it takes it like in another very slow, very depressing setting. Karma Police, it's not like, I think we could agree it's not a bad song.
I think for me at this point, like the formula, the particular sound that's going on in this record, it's kind for me at this point listening to it, and this is how I felt today when I listened to it. It varies formulaic, and like most of these songs kind of follow a relatively similar formula as to how they're laid out. And like, but this one just feels very like, I don't know. It feels like the boringest one of the bunch because typically, like most of these songs are like Tom York sings, Tom York has an acoustic guitar, then weird sounds happen in the background, and this song kind of does that, but it's like, I don't know. It just does it so plain, like just kind of boringly to me on this one.
I think what it is that it becomes more of the same almost.
Yeah, which is why I kind of like later on after Karma Police, the records the songs definitely change up a bit, I think, and I think in a good way. It changes tone.
Speaking of changing tone, you ready to go on to the 7th track?
Fitter, happier,
More
better life.
Better life. Big wife, fat boob. Small kid, quiet.
I will say, now that we live in a world with AI, I could see AI writing this.
Okay, that sounds like a little bit of an insult there, buddy, Bucko boy.
No, the fitter, happier. I could see it like one of my favorite people I watch on YouTube. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Doug. He does a lot of like computer programming and stuff like that. But there's one where he plays Pajama Sam using AI to help make the decisions for the game or something like that, and he uses like an AI voice as well. and like the longer he runs the code on the AI, the more like bizarre and weird the AI gets and how it says things.
Jesus.
And that's kind of how I feel about this, because it starts off relatively okay and then just gets a little more weirder and bizarre as it goes,
Oh yeah.
to the point, my favorite line, because it just creeps me out: a pig locked in a cage on antibiotics. Those are the last fucking words.
Oh, dude, no, yeah. I remember being a shit-eating kid in fucking high school and like listening to that and being like, oh my god, that's like
We really do
for
live in
real.
a system.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, back in the day, fun facts for you youngins. We didn't always have the joke, we live in a society. We used to call it we live in a system. Back in the old 2010s.
Brandon,
Yeah, the Joker wasn't
I
real back in the day. Anyway, what?
hey, I hate to cut you off, but I think we have an ad read.
We do have an ad read, actually.
Let's cut to our ads right now.
Okay, I just wanted to add some. It's fine.
In a world devoid of music album review podcasts, there's A side, B side. A side, B side. Give us money. Give us sponsors or money. We'll take either. We're desperate.
It's a really funny place to fucking put it. We didn't really talk. I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. It's.
I just didn't know what else there was to say about that song.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Haha! That was such a great. Oh god, that was such a
Brandon
great
fucking
ad.
choked on that ad read.
I choked up. I choked up because I was crying so hard.
It really hit us in the spot.
Yeah, it really hit us in the spot. I just wanted to say one last note on Fitter, Happier on track 7. I used to skip it, but now when I listen to it, I enjoy listening to it because when you listen to the spoken verse, it describes a very melancholic life of just as if like have you ever seen the movie Blade Runner, like Blade Runner 2077 specifically?
I haven't seen either one of them. I'm actually very upset at myself for not watching either one.
Oh, you'd fucking love the new one. I haven't seen the original. I should see the original, but I saw the new one and holy fuck, it's so good.
I heard it depends which version you watch of the old one. I think the director's cut, has been told, is the best one.
Yeah, because they in the original movie, they essentially have like a narrator, which really ruins it. Like, because the movie, basically the guys that were fucking distributing it were just like, hey, why the fuck would a theater audience want to watch like any of this shit, you know?
Right. All right. What do we have next?
And then Alex.
Yeah.
And anyway, long story short, this reminded me of that because in the Cyberpunk or in the Blade Runner 2077, there's a scene where so in this world, right, you have humans and then you have replicants. And replicants are essentially like they're robot, or they're not robots, they're synthetic, but they do have like souls, they do have lives, they do have agency, right? But they're considered manufactured people. And there's this test that they do in the movie where they repeat words to you and they have the replicant like speak back, and if the replicant shows any like human emotions or if they seem like to be developing any empathy or anything, then they get culled, right?
Okay.
So when the track starts and they're going fitter, happier, more productive, to me it's just like almost as if like a computer is telling a human how to behave, and then through the course of the evolution of this computer interacting with them, it slowly begins to treat them like cattle. And that's why it ends you know, it slowly becomes more and more like desperate as they begin to infantilize their target, this computer, until they end up a pig in a cage on antibiotics.
Fuck, dude, that hits way harder. That makes it even harder.
Yeah, it's a really interesting track. I would love to one day replicate like the energy that this track gives. Especially because in my opinion at least, it feeds so perfectly into what is, in my opinion, the best track on the entire album. Track number 8, Electioneering.
Dude, I
So if I could just start real quick, like if Fitter and Happier was a computer trying to make or trying to learn how to control like a human, Electioneering, to me at least, is like the first successful manufactured human. You know what I mean? Electioneering to me always made me think of like somebody building a human, like, you know what I mean, like someone like taking a human piece by piece and building them up like a robot even. Especially like it's such like a fun fucking track, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it makes me feel like I'm in like a factory that's like kind of steampunk and like shitting out all these humans in and out, you know? I fucking love this song. In my opinion, it's the best on the track. It'll get my gold star easy.
Oh yeah. And plus it's like it's such a wake up from like the dreariness of like the other records. It feels a lot more lively, I would say, in like the guitars and everything like that. It definitely picks up its pace. The downside is that it's essentially about a politician tricking and lying to get his way to being elected. Which, you know, which they were pulling from, like, I guess there was some dude running for election in England for something or whatever. I don't know how English laws work. I don't know what they do over there.
Oh yeah.
I thought they had a queen. Anyways,
They had a queen.
but anyways, I basically took it as you know, it's just a politician lying his way to becoming in charge, and it's a bummer because damn, this song slaps and it goes really hard and I really like it, and then knowing that, I'm just like, damn.
Damn. No, I could.
Well, like,
yeah.
there's one of my favorite records is Tommy by The Who, which is a rock opera, and there's a character in there called what is it, Uncle Ernie. Horrible, terrible man, terrible, like what he does in that story is absolutely god awful. But they give him like a silly carnival tune. It's like it has that same vibe where it's like, well, this is just silly. Oh my god, this is horrible.
Hell yeah. I think you mentioned it earlier in the podcast, about how it's about like an election, and now that I'm reading these lyrics, yeah.
I enjoy your creativity. I am more logical, so in my mind, I'm just like, I have to read what this is about, otherwise I don't get it.
No, you're good. I think it's hard to interpret it as anything else. I guess I more so picked up on like the more sonic things, but when they fucking literally go riot shields, voodoo economics, like, okay, yeah, all right, sure, Tom York.
You know what voodoo economics is?
Is it like a Banana Republic? Is it like a weird reference to something?
No, I think I think if I remember, I read right. It's like trickle down economics. It's like trickle down economics, where they're like, hey, give the rich people cuts in their taxes, and then that money will flow down to the poor people.
Oh,
because you know, that totally happens.
Yeah, fucking Reagan, dude.
I'm a product of Reaganomics.
Bro, is Reagan still alive?
Fuck no.
Good, Jesus. I mean, my life is still just as shitty either way, but you know, at least he's not around. Oh man, that should be if I cut this up into shorts, that's gonna be one of the shorts. Is Reagan still alive? uh,
Sorry.
yeah, I think electioneering. I'll still call it like my favorite track, fucking easily on OK Computer, like by a damn long shot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's about as much as I have to say on that.
I think so too.
Uh,
See here.
you ready for track number 9?
Hell yeah, let's climb up that wall, dog.
So, what's interesting about this song, track number 9, Climbing Up the Walls. So, it kind of reminds me of oh fuck, the earlier song. Let's see, which one was it? It kind of has like the same vibe as Exit Music. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where it's a very like sad and almost like fearful song. You know, when you listen to it again, like it really a lot of the tracks have like different layers of electronic dystopia, but this one once again wants to really dig in and exist in this really depressive and empty state. You know what I mean?
I mean, totally. I mean, you can hear it in the drums. The drums have a very like they intentionally kind of made it sound like it's far in the back. It has a very industrial sound, like a boom clamp kind of sound to it. It doesn't sound great, but it's an intentional.
Oh yeah. I absolutely agree. I think if anything, the word you just said, industrial, really, really fucking nails what this song is all about. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like looking at like the lyrics and everything, but whenever I listen to this song, once again, like it just makes it makes me like feel like my skin should be crawling. You know, it makes me feel like I'm walking through like a very dark hallway, and every once in a while I'm reaching like corners that I have to make a choice whether to go left or right, and both options just get me like way more lost. The atmosphere that is built on track 9, Climbing Up the Walls, is very, very lonely. But still a jam.
It very much, from my understanding, is about living with like paranoia, depression, and anxiety, and it's like having that constant like voice in your head that's like getting to you. And climbing the wall is basically him saying trying to escape that. You know, it's that act of desperateness where it's like the only option is to climb out over this wall to get away from it. You know, one of my favorite, I don't know, one of my favorites, but Johnny Cash has a song where he talks about a guy willing to risk it all to climb that wall, but he dies in the process of doing it.
Oh shit!
And it's just him, and it's basically written as like a retelling of like the tale of this dude who was just kept staring at the wall, and every time he was told literally like, don't you dare climb that wall because we're gonna have to shoot you if you climb up that wall. But you know, he felt that desperate that he did it, and that's kind of the energy that this has, where it's that I have to get away from this like this eerie disturbing voice in my head, and my only option is to climb this wall whether it kills me.
Yeah, fuck no, I like that a lot. I think that also like perfectly fits within like the atmosphere that this track brings to the album. Especially like looking at the discography overall, it seems like it really likes to this album likes to operate between almost like manic happiness, like manic almost like a willfulness to just keep yourself distracted, or to focus on like the smaller things, or to even have like a genuine happiness to be alive, versus just like these very depraved and dark, industrial, as you said, songs. And I think that analogy that you had with that Johnny Cash song works fucking perfectly well. This is another track that really feeds into like the almost desolate emptiness that this entire album as a whole really brings to the table, you know?
Yeah. It's honestly, I think this song is in that category of top 3. I don't know. As a person who struggles with a lot of those issues and whatnot, like hearing somebody talk about it in that particular way and like in that song, I very much find it semi-relatable to like that gnawing feeling of trying to get away from like that voice in your head that's telling you all the bad things.
No, yeah, I completely agree. The lyrics that really speak to me are like, cuz I also share like a little bit of a paranoia. I'm constantly worried. I'm constantly like worried about just awful accidents, awful things happening to me, or people that like I love and care about. So I definitely you know I definitely have like an aspect where I get really paranoid when someone I know is like going and doing like even like menial like routine stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the lyrics that really speak to me are like, so lock up the kids up safe tonight, shut the eyes in the cupboard, I've got the smell of a local man who's got the loneliest feeling. And that to me paints this picture of like of myself, of just being so paranoid that like I hope to have kids, but like when I have kids, like I already like feel it, just like this need to keep them constantly like almost like in a box, and knowing that like me and myself and like everybody I know, like you have to exist, you have to move around, you can't stay stagnant, but being so fearful of that and fearful of like what could potentially happen to my loved ones and my children, let alone that in my paranoia I lock them away into like a tower. That's a really fucking good I wouldn't even know if I would call it like a metaphor. I think I would call it like a straight up analogy for suffering with this sense of paranoia, with this sense that like society, even if it doesn't intend to get you, all it takes is one drunk fucking dipshit or some asshole that doesn't fucking know how to drive going the wrong way on the highway, and that's it. And you're gone, and everyone you care about has to live with it. I think that's such like a good it really speaks to that part of my brain, at least. I don't know.
No, I get that. I have a dude, Jesus. I have like a strange like constant fear of like nuclear fallout. I've had it since I was a kid for
Oh,
some reason.
dude, I hear that. I fucking hear
There
that.
was one time I was taking a nap, and like it was either, I think the sun was just going down and there was like this really beautiful sunset, but I was just taking a nap and I had just started to wake up, and like a jet or like a large plane had just flown by, so I just heard this like loud like rumbling sound, and then like the sky was red, and for some reason in my mind, since I had just woken up and I hadn't like fully like become cognizant, I was like, holy fuck, it's the end of the world.
God damn. Yeah, no, oh fuck. I could definitely relate to that impending doom feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's
think,
see here.
yeah.
Oh no, nothing. Never mind. Go ahead.
There you go. I had like the exact same thing happen to me. Like when I was really fucking young, like way too young to be thinking about like death in general, right? But I was hanging out. I was like a really little kid. This was I have a lot of really, I'm gonna be very fucking frank with it. I have a really like a lot of bad family members in Hawaii. Like they just suck. Like I'll just be straight up. Like they're just fucking awful. And we were hanging out in this one house And I remember like sitting down at this table. It was my mom's side of the family, right? And like it was like a bunch of like old people, a bunch of young people. I was like really little, like eating down, and I don't know what the fuck it was, but I just like I had this like immediate thought in my head that was just like, huh, if something like went off right now, we'd all be dead. And even if it doesn't, I'm gonna get older and everyone here is gonna be dead. And just not being able to like let go of that for the rest of the night. And I was like, dude, I had to have been like fucking 4 or 5, bro. It was not okay to be doing that.
Holy shit, dog. I feel like this depressing talk is a good segue into the next most depressing song.
Oh,
No
okay.
surprises.
What do you mean? It sounds so light and happy.
Oh dear God,
What?
he's perfect.
Yeah, what could if I'm gonna set you up a bit. I'm gonna set you up a bit. What could track 10 on OK Computer No Surprises possibly be about?
If trying to run away from your demons is hard enough, imagine losing that fight and saying to yourself, "All right, I'll just die now." This song is horrifically depressing. I mean, the last one is really, really bad, but this one is like in there he's talking about carbon monoxide and like he just wants to die and fade away so that he doesn't have to worry about the problems and the issues in his life. That way he can just be done.
Oh yeah, no, growing up, this song always like brought like a strange comfort. Like I always was aware that to a certain degree, um, the track No Surprises genuinely, it like, I'm not saying like it's pro suicide, right? But it definitely has like, oh man, when I kill myself, it'll be so quiet and that's awesome. But it also like it sucks because it's like that's like a super bad message to be spreading. But it also has such like a relaxing, melancholic, reflective vibe that like really follows the track that it always ended up making me feel in like a weird way, almost like better like about it, because it's like, yeah, you have a job that's slowly trying to kill you. You have a heart that's full up like a landfill. Wouldn't it just be better to just like exist in a world where there's no alarms and no surprises, and just like have and like sitting there and like being there with you in that moment as like you feel that, and almost like I don't know, like I just like I listen to that. I listen to like the artist Tom York really talk about that and really like give that comfort and everything. I don't think the fucking guy endorses suicide because that's just stupid. But
No,
almost
I mean,
like it brings like a relief hearing it almost. You know what I mean?
I think it's important. I feel like it's. I mean, and this is the I believe the agreed upon belief here that you shouldn't kill yourself and you should seek help and reach out to people.
Yeah, killing yourself is stupid, and being stupid's wrong.
But that being said, I think it is an important topic to talk about because I think there is some sympathy towards that. Where like I feel like everybody at least once in their life is just like, man, everything is just so hard and difficult that if I could just blip out and be done with it, I'd be okay with that. Not saying that that's the right move at all, and it isn't, because people care about you and and they love you. But I think that sense of like understanding is important.
Oh no, yeah, 100%. I think it's like it's weird because the song like Tom York almost really is like these lyrics really like almost seem like elated to be like going like through this, but I don't know, like there's, even though the words are harsh, even though the context, or sorry, the content is so sour, um I don't know, like I can't help but feel like a positive message. I think like a weird like it's a like I guess the best way to describe it is that All right, can I talk about BoJack Horseman for a bit?
Sure.
There's this poem that comes out of BoJack Horseman about a character that commits suicide by jumping off a fucking bridge, right? Don't kill yourself, by the way. Listen to our podcast instead. Where they're talking about how like, oh, like the view from halfway down, and in that media, when it touches up upon that, it does have like that undercurrent of like the fear, the anxiety, and everything else that has that like comes along with it. But it also like it also meets the reader like where they're at, like in that moment. Like, why are they feeling like this is the most peaceful I've ever been? Why do they feel like, oh, I'm really appreciating the breeze now? And I think like that part is important, almost like too much in a way, where this song also like runs with that exact line of thinking, where it's just like it's almost like meeting people at like their lowest, and it's just saying like, yeah, you know, you look tired, unhappy, bring down the government. But like at the same time, it's also like, I don't know, like I just feel, I feel happier to be alive when I listen to this song about killing myself. And it's just like, it's a weird thing to explain out loud, you know?
Fair enough.
It's a weird energy that this song gives me. I'm not gonna lie, it's a fucking, it's sad, it's depressing, but like the instruments and everything else, it's almost as if Radiohead and Tom York as an extension are saying like, it's okay to feel this, it's okay to want to have no alarms and no surprises, but once the song's over, don't you feel better that you're alive? You know, don't you like appreciate like existing? I don't know. I might just be like completely fucking misinterpreting it all.
I definitely have a different perspective of it, but like I like yours better than mine. You want it to be you want it to be better.
Yeah, it's like well, because I feel like that, you know, media, fiction, nonfiction, whatever the fuck, just like media in general, it's good to have stories. It's good to have things that meet people that are at their lowest, right? Whether or not, you know, everything is should be like allowed and valid and fucking da 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 da, like that's like a whole different thing. But I think it's good to have something say like, hey, you want to kill yourself? That's fucking hilarious. Me too. I mean, obviously we're not going to, but let's talk about it. Like let's laugh about it. Let's get all of our shit. Let's get all of our shit out in the open, and then see if like the feeling that we have after is still empty, or after we accept like certain parts of it, we can change. We can move past it. We during the process have found things that make us not want to do that. But that's just, I don't know. That's just me. I'm curious to hear your take on this song especially.
Oh man, mine is depressing.
That's more than fine, dude. This is the reason why we have this as our first album, is to really set the tone for how deep we want to dig into these reviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I look at this in a pretty dark manner. I mean, I see it as somebody who's completely given up and has just embraced the sweet release of death. The talking of no alarms and no surprises. That's not a positive thing. That's him fading out, and there's no alarms going off. Like there's no carbon monoxide alarms going off. No surprises, as in like he's aware of this happening, and then at the end there's such a pretty house and such a pretty garden is his fade out. I kind of look at it as like of Mice and Men when he says think of the rabbits. That's him thinking of the rabbits as such a pretty house and such a pretty garden.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely see that. It sounds like um you're kind of approaching it as like the literal the lyrical story that's being told. And I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
no,
also
I think
because
that's completely valid, by the way. Like I think how you
yeah.
interpret it's like completely
Well,
fair.
also because when you watch the music video, it's just him in
Oh my
like
god.
this like chamber, and it just fades to black.
Dude, I wasn't even gonna fucking mention the music. Can we talk about the music video?
Yeah.
Okay, so the music video for No Surprises, I don't know if you ever seen the behind the scenes for it. Tom York was definitely fucking going through something in the 90s. The No Surprises track in itself, I completely like agree wholeheartedly. It's a depressing track. It really speaks about a man that wants to like end himself. Whereas I interpreted it as a little bit more of like a meta sense, meeting someone at their lowest and then talking about it, and then at the end of the song, you feel better. The fucking music video, dude. It's Tom York in a fucking fishbowl, and it gets filled up with water, and he has to. You see him hold his breath for like 3 fucking minutes, and then at the end, you see him like fucking position his nose like right at the like above, and he starts fucking like breathing again. So the fucking music video is just, I don't know, like it's art. Art's meant to be interpreted in a million different ways. I think the music video genuinely does a disservice to the song. That's just my opinion. Yes,
Fair enough.
is it funny, and do I get the message of him literally drowning himself? Yeah, absolutely. But like, it's I'll give it this. It's unique, and it's remembered for a reason.
Fair enough.
That's just my music video tangent. Do you like the music video?
It's alright.
You should see the behind the scenes like pictures of him in this fucking thing is hilarious.
So we go to the next track.
Yeah, that was track 10, Radiohead's No Surprises. You want to start up on the next one?
Yeah. So now that we're done talking about the most depressing shit in the world, let's talk about superheroes and having somebody to keep fighting for. What do we want? A girl we're fighting for.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We're gonna talk about Lucky. This song is kind of a, dear God, I think it's a very much needed tone shift from like the last 2 tracks that are just pure depression. Not saying tone wise that it sounds any more cheery, but the message behind it is a lot, I think, is very nice.
I was actually gonna ask you. So like, this song is fucking weird to me because it's like you listen to it, and it kind of has like the same vibe as track 4's exit music for a film. In my opinion, the track like starts off like really fucking depressing, but then it like it explodes, and like it evolves into like the chorus, into like this very hopeful fucking like melody, and then like the rest of the song slowly goes into like this this isn't directly appropriate because the Arctic Monkeys is like a later band, but it almost goes into like a little bit of like an Arctic Monkeys kind of like a jam for like the second half of the song.
Yeah.
But sorry, what were you saying?
No, you're good. Yeah, so this song, from my understanding, what he's talking about is like, Sarah is the woman in this song. You know, that's the person that's keeping him going. He's a superhero in that woman's eyes, and so that means that he has to be a superhero. What was that anime that we watched in movie theaters, Gurren Lagann or whatever?
Yeah, Gurren Lagann.
When the brother is just like, you need to be as cool as I think. What is it?
You need to don't believe in yourself. Believe in the me that believes in you, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. This song kind of hits on that, where it's like, it's like I'm a hero in your eyes, so that means I have to be a hero. So I think this is a very well needed like palate cleanser from the last two songs.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think again, like it's kind of interesting how it starts off where it's just like I'm on a roll, and it's like that really like almost like tension building guitar riff, you know, that slowly like gets you into the track.
Yeah.
Well, Alex,
Yeah.
is it time for the last track?
I think it is. And if I had to be, well, we'll get into my feelings about this one.
Yeah. Track 12 on OK Computer, The Tourist. Now, I think that it's healthy to recognize, and obviously eventually we're going to find an album here or there that has like nonstop hits, nonstop jams, yada yada yada. I don't. So track 12, The Taurus. It's good. Okay, so on the one hand, it's good because it's warm. It's kind of like it's once again very inviting, very humanistic. To me, when I listen to The Tourist, it seems to me to be the story of like this guy. He's this artificial fucking robot living in this awful fucking society, making his way at like a breakneck fucking pace, like as fast as fucking possible. And it gets to where he becomes like almost like the tourist, quote unquote. And then he ends up passing by somebody that says, "Hey, I understand your life is stressful. I understand this and that. Slow down." Like literally, like that's what the chorus is. Like, slow down. You know.
Yeah, I mean that
Really-
that is what he's saying. I mean he's talking about how he needs to slow down. He has these moments. He calls them sparks in the song where it's like his fits of anxiety or fits of paranoia or whatever hit him,
Yeah.
and he has to be reminded to slow down and enjoy the ride, enjoy what you're doing.
No, yeah, 100%. And it's like, so that's like that's like the whole like thing in a nutshell. On the other hand, I don't think it's a bad outro. I think it works very fucking well for the album. In fact, it's probably the only way that they could have reasonably ended OK Computer. I don't know. It's not my favorite song. I don't hate it. It's okay.
Honestly, and this, I am not Radiohead, and they obviously did what they did. I would have ended with Lucky and just skipped this song.
Yeah.
I just like this song could have fit probably somewhere in the middle. If I had to put it anywhere, I would have taken The Tourist and probably thrown it. Oh man, maybe somewhere in between like Let Down and Karma Police or something like that. I just like song wise, I don't like how it ends. It just ends like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think
for
yeah,
go ahead.
I think it's again like I think it does serve its purpose, and like on like a meta sense, I can see like it does resolve OK Computer as like a record. It's just an okay song, and that's like the unfortunate truth of it is that it makes sense thematically, it makes sense like everything else. It's just unfortunately no one's gonna put on The Tourist when they're driving down the highway, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought like just sound wise, like what's going on band wise and everything like that. It just felt like kind of just a blase ending as far as music goes, but like thematically wise, I can kind of understand why they did it. They did it that way.
Yeah. I do think honestly, dude, I think saying that Lucky should have been where OK Computer ended. Dude, that you said that, and the more I'm thinking about it, yeah, I honestly 100% agree. Like I wouldn't even cut the tourist in between. Actually, you know what? Nah, I was gonna say maybe you could swap out Karma Police for the tourist, but even then, Karma Police is an okay song, right?
I think it's all right. It's not one of my favorites. I think it's down near the tourist for me, but it's not horrible. I mean, I would say none of these songs are really that bad. I think where the song loses me, um, I think it's just like musicality wise, like it very much there. I don't know. I mean, and this is coming from a guy who likes his rock and roll. I like Kiss, Led Zeppelin, and all those kind of things. I like bands that go hard, but then also are willing to dial back for softer songs. So when like a band puts out a record that's like 80% soft songs and maybe like 1 to 2 songs that go hard, it kind of you kind of lose me a little bit.
Oh yeah, that makes
Just like
perfect
just
sense.
personally.
I think looking back at OK Computer as like an entire project, I think if you removed Karma Police and if you remove the tourist, it would do 2 things. One, going from letdown to the spoken word of fitter happier, in my opinion, like just from a surface glance seems better. And 2, I think it would make it like a tighter, more well put together album, because it's like, Karma Police and the tourist, like thematically, I think the issue lies in the fact that they're both tracks that really only serve to reiterate. You know what I mean? They only serve to like repeat things. They don't add a new layer to like the album as a whole. Like you couldn't listen to this album, or you couldn't have this album like at all without the highlight moments, like Subterranean, Homesick, Alien, easy. Exit Music, easy. Electioneering, easy. Like you have to have those, along with like the slower tracks, No Surprises, fucking Climbing Up the Walls. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
ending it on Lucky. Yeah, you get that great fucking build up, and yeah, like the more I'm thinking about it, it would have been just as thematic of an ending, and it also would have been sonically a lot stronger to end, especially with how like the Lucky track goes through it. Now
Yeah.
obviously we're talking about an album that was released in 1997, so it's a little late for that.
Yeah. Well, I also think thematically wise, I get why the tourist lands where it lands. I kind of feel like Lucky is projecting somebody's perspective on yourself, of their perspective of you on yourself, and holding yourself to that standard, whereas to this one I feel like is like a more like stopping yourself. Like there's nobody else involved in the tourist other than himself, and he's telling himself slow down. And I think that means something, because I think that's it's important. If it's, anybody can tell you anything, but you have to be the one that says it to yourself at the end of it.
Right. You need to be the one to actually, if you don't rest actively, then you're not gonna, or something like
Right.
that.
I
Something
mean,
like
anybody can tell me to slow down. Anybody can say, hey dude, slow down. And I can choose to listen to them or not to. But if I for myself stop and say I need to slow down, that's important. That means I should listen to myself if that's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, I think again, like thematically, all right, it's there, but then musically,
Yeah, I would agree.
I do think, just like going back now that we finished our first official A-side B-side track by track review.
Oh dear God.
I think once again, like reviewing this whole album as a whole fucking project. I think its whole message is about the pain and the like anxiety, the aggression that comes with simply existing in the modern age. You know what I mean? Like just finding your place in a constantly ever evolving society, which is funny because this shit released in the 90s. they had it good. They had it so good. Fuck them, if anything. And like this album like still resonates to this day because it's like we're always gonna be evolving. There's always gonna be it feels like to me every 5 years something horrifically different happens, right? Like some new evolution comes to fruition.
Yeah, the status quo is always changing as to
Yeah.
what's accepted and what's the norm.
Dude, I still remember during 2020, like learning about like haha goofy. There used to be like little joke websites where you could type in, or not that you typed in, you hit a random button and it AI generated you cats, and they all looked like shit. And there's a lot of websites that were called thispersondoesnotexist.com or this cat does not exist. You remember? You know what I mean?
I know that this person does not exist.
And it's just like that shit was so fucking funny. That shit was so cool. And nowadays, just because of all these fucking tech companies and shit, they are motivated by profits. They are not at all interested in preserving whatever you would call a human touch to media and art. They are fucking bastards, all of them. And they're predators that just want to eat and soak everything up that they can and leave nothing left for the people that have to struggle on by. And that's why I'm happy that we were able to knock out this album first, because I think like that deep core existential message still deeply resonates to this day. I think OK Computer served as not only a foundational time in Radiohead's discography.
Yeah.
I think it also had a very immense and powerful impact, especially releasing near the end of the 90s going into the early 2000s, where, you know, everyone was all bright and flashy and, oh, hey, my computer can download a JPEG in an hour. Isn't that fucking wild? I think it definitely lends itself to ever-present interpretations.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think thematic wise and lyrical wise, I feel like this record can be perceived as fairly timeless.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And because it tells the story of a horrific, constantly evolving humanity. I don't know. So I was trying to find like a good word to end that on.
But now, Brandon, we have one final thing we have to do.
Okay. Yeah, Alex, what is that final thing we have to do?
How many paranoid androids out of 10 would you give this record?
Ooh.
And maybe a little note as to like, should you listen to this? Should you not?
I think that I'm gonna give this now I guess actually no, this would serve as a good point to have a tangent. I believe that when you're ranking things, if you don't have a 10 out of 10 album in mind, or whatever you're doing, if you can't bring yourself to give something an A+, a perfect score, a 10 out of 10, never fucking review anything ever. I have so many shit-eating friends of mine that refuse to give out perfect scores because of this toxic, demeaning attitude that, oh, well, nothing is perfect, right? So, therefore, nothing is a 10 out of 10 or a 5 out of 5, right?
Right.
That is reductive. You don't interest me as a person, and also your music sucks. Anyway, I'm trying not to call out anyone in specific, but...
So anyways, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, 10 out of 10. Please listen to it all the time, always.
You like pina coladas?
Not even the same song, but all right.
Is it not? No,
I said Margarita. Margaritaville.
Yeah, Jimmy. No,
Two different people. Two different people.
no. Well, okay. I know
Two
it's not
different
from
people.
I know it's not from Margaritaville, but Jimmy Buffett made pina coladas.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
I'm fairly confident he didn't.
We're gonna look this up for our second album. Nah. I guess so. The reason why I say all of that is to say that I confidently give OK Computer a 9 out of 10. The things that keep it from being perfect. Track 12, for sure. And again, like I do agree, track 6, Karma Police, they're okay. They it meanders and it repeats, but it's okay. Because they're not bad, that's why it wouldn't be like a lower ranking for me. And also like Airbag, But the reason why it's a 9, Paranoid Android, Subterranean Homesick Alien, Exit Music, Let Down, Electioneering Climbing, No Surprises, Lucky. I think that there's so much good to be had in this album that not only am I going to give it that 9 out of 10, but also, yeah, fucking sit down, listen to it, cry a little, break a calculator over your kneecap, whatever you fucking want to do to this album. You should do it. I recommend OK Computer.
So that being said, it is now my turn to rank the record that Brandon said is a 9 out of 10.
5. Nah, go for it.
I'm probably leaning towards somewhere at like a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, are we gonna allow 0.5s in this review series?
I think we're allowed. I mean, because a 6 feels low, but a 7 feels high, so 6.5 just feels right.
All right. If it starts to get any more complicated than 0.5s, like if you start going 0.6, 0.7, I will.
Fuck that.
I will
Fuck that.
cry. Anyway, sorry. Continue. A 6.5. I think a lot of people would consider that a hot take.
It's mostly just sheerly out of my taste for music. I highly do recommend listening to this record. For me personally, as far as taste goes and what I find sonically appealing, the record to me feels it feels like it follows a certain pattern for a lot of its songs, where it's eerie synths, Tom York sings the acoustic guitar, more eerie synths. And I'm not saying that's a horrible thing, because like they do a good job of it. Just at certain points, I kind of find myself dozing off just because of how similar sounding it all is. Like, where I found the most intrigue in this record was going into the lyrics and like actually learning about it more than I was just solely listening to it. But I do think they made a wonderful record. 6.5 out of 10 Paranoid Robots.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is. Let me check my notes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that needs to be said about OK Computer. I think that moving forward, as if years down the line or whatever ends up happening, you're listening to our reviews in order, I hope that this review in a meta sense offers as a good time capsule, but also offers as like a good jumping off point for what the two of us, A side, B side, wants to bring to the table. I hope that we were able to really offer some interesting insights into this album that you may or may not have listened to before, listener. I also hope that you stay tuned for more A-side, B-side. Do we want to mention the next albums that are going to be uploaded next at the end of each episode, or do you think that's going to get like a little hard to do chronologically?
Nah, let's not worry about that.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Well, if that's the case,
I'm A-side.
We are not doing that.
By the way, Rupert Holmes is the one who wrote the Pina Colada song.
You fucking ass, you son of a bitch, really? Well, if I could just say, I can't wait for you to check out our next review. Like, comment, subscribe as always, share this. We are just starting out. And if you need anything else, call me on the line. Call me anytime you need. Call me, I'll arrive. You can call me any day or night.
That song's not even on the next fucking record.
Is it not? No, it is.
No,
yeah, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, fuck, you're right. You're right. Okay, shit.
Next record is Blondie. Goodbye.
A-side, B-side, Bruckerhouse.com forever. All right, what's your thing?
That was it. Next record's Blondie. Goodbye.
Hey guys, this is Alex from A-Side and B-Side. Thanks for checking us out. Like and subscribe, and catch you guys later. Thanks.